Hey folks, here we are back in the lab. We got a new project here. This is a CT Ham gem cold blast lantern. And this is a lamp, it's a wagon lamp. And I'm just discovering, I think this is brass. But I can tell you right now that this is brass, the burner's brass, the dome's brass, and there's a possibility that this chimney is brass because I've seen brass crack like that. And somebody's got a little bit of wire there around those cracks. So this is going to be the next project. See, look, I can see brass coming through. What a great discovery. Who would paint over that? That's amazing to me. What the rest of it is it all brass? No, it just can't be. I'm sure it's just the fount. And this thing's heavy, man. This thing is heavy. Let's get started on this baby. I mean, it's obvious that that paint's coming off no matter what. And it's definitely not. I mean, it's spray painted. Look at it. You can tell. All right. Well, we got a project here. I'm rejuvenated. I'm excited. So we're going to do some disassembly here. And then I'm going to take it and put some, I could see where they tried sanding off very crudely, I might add, sanding off whatever the first layer of paint was, or whatever, and then spray painted this over it. And I can see there's some nice tin under there. Well, let's get going on this. And seeing that cracking is, worrisome. So I got to make sure that we take it very gentle with this thing, because obviously things are getting brittle on it. So let's get to work on this. And look, I got a new globe for it. I'm not sure if it's going to fit, but we'll make it fit. I think we'll be able to make that fit in there. That's cool. All right. So just kidding. This is a Dietz Pioneer streetlight globe. Just found that today at an antique shop. It just said glass globe. So they didn't know what it was. I grabbed it. Pretty cool. All right. So here we go. We're gonna get at this CT Ham gem. All right. So here we are. Let's start taking apart. And I see with that wire there, I'm gonna try to take it easy getting this out of here. Okay, well, globe is unmarked, but nice and thick. And that's a lot of the weight. Wow, there's the weight of this. There's some nice swirls in here. I really enjoy like swirls and bubbles and differences in globes. You know, when you have an unmarked globe that may or may not have any character to itself, but you find strange things in them, and it's like I said something in a group yesterday that it's like marble collecting. I mean, they look for the strange things inside the glass. Look, there's a bubble right there, and there's a swirl going around. That's not a crack. That's a swirl made with a big old stick full of glass going into a mold and put together. There's your mold seam right there. Okay, well, that's very nice, and I might have something else. Maybe not this size. I don't think I have any. Yeah, okay. So it's very possible that this whole thing is brass, by the way. This whole thing.
We have.
So we are going to investigate that. We're going to see. So let's see. Okay. So this is nothing new to get all this stuff off, but this beacon I got, well, it's smaller. But what I had to do was, to get this whole mechanism out, I desoldered this. This was already loose. You can go see the video of it. This lift mechanism was very loose. What I have to decide is what I'm gonna do to get this mechanism out of here without damaging things. Because, like I've said before, I hate putting tool marks in things. So I know I can get this. I know I can get this end out. Got to bend this up and get that out. But what do I do there? It's so tough to say because we are restricted by the reflector. See that? Okay, anyway, so let me think about that and let's take a look at the burner. Let's see what we got going on here. And there's some brass right there. We'll clean that up nice. Nothing wrong with that. And this comes right out. That's great. Ooh. And still smell the kerosene on that. With that, look at that. That's all brass there. All right. We'll clean this up when we go to the sink and look at things. Yeah, this not too long ago, this thing had fuel in it. So what I'm trying to think of is, I mean, how am I going to get this out of here? Yeah, see, that's all soldered. I could try desoldering all that. Get that up, but I can't tell what's soldered and what's not. Let me turn on my headlamp here and see. Okay, that's heavily closed up. There. Well, those might be tabs that I could get out. Let me see if you can see down in there. See these tabs? Question is, what's going on underneath that? Is this all soldered to the globe plate? That's what I got to figure out. So I'm going to hit that with a Dremel a little bit, try to expose those tabs, and then we'll go from there. Sorry for the bad angle, folks. All right. I see solder in there too. I think. Yeah. Shit. Okay. That's soldered. So the hinge is as wide as these two tabs. The hinge underneath. And that's just, well, that's soldered from end to end. Okay. First I'm going to straighten this out. All right, let's see how much can I get this out.
$346 later.
It's a difficult decision, folks, for me because, like I said, I hate changing the characteristics of things. But okay, we're gonna making a call. We're going to desolder this because I've had to put these on 3 or 4 times and I got pretty good at it. So I'll say we'll go with that. You know, first let's get bail off here. Get that out of the way. Come in, there you go. Okay, bail is out. That's pretty exciting. It's very exciting that I happen to find, ooh, Wow. Okay. Got to be real careful with that. Oh boy. That. I don't know if you could see in the chimney there. See that? Oof. That is delicate. Okay. Gonna have to work. Luckily, it's in that spot. It's not going to get knocked around. But if I wanted to put a polish on that, that could be a problem. Okay, let's lock her down here. Perfect. Okay. That solder is beautifully manicured. Somebody had some good pride in their solders and cleaned them up and everything. I've seen a lot of pretty crazy solder jobs and, these lanterns. But, a lot of them get covered up in paint. And this one was obviously sold as brass. Nope. Harden back up on me. So I know these have a little curve on the end. So because of my system here is holding it down and I can't pull it up out. So gotta change this up a bit. And then we'll be able to pull that out once we heat it up again. Should be able to just lift with this thing. Let's give it a try. It's right there. I don't want to overheat the brass. Ah. Something's been clanking around. Oh, that's hot. There's a wick in there. Ooh, wow, this one's been in there a while. That's why I was making noise. Maybe they were burning some strange type of oil in here. I can't see it. If I saw it, I could grab it. That's entertainment. Okay, well, I'm going to be with this lantern for a very long time working on it. So I'll be able to get that out of there somehow. But there's only a little piece left. Okay, where were we? Right. So this is going to clean up beautifully. And I do worry much about that chimney. And oh, I see some cracks here. Yeah, this darn brass gets brittle. I just hope this paint comes off nicely. And I can see there is a serious coating. Yeah. Whatever kind of oil they burned in this thing, I mean, it could have been, could have been whale oil, right? That could have been, used olive oil. Olive oil's got a flash point. It's good for lanterns. But, okay. I'm excited to see the brass underneath all this. And from what I hear, patent numbers are on the fount, but apparently not this particular year. Maybe we'll find it somewhere else. All right. Let's get to the sink, get to the stripper. I will strip this and this. Luckily that didn't get painted. Okay. I'll be back after we get some paint off. And let the polishing begin, because I want to see some beautiful brass. All right. Right. Got stripper gel. Got a paintbrush. And I got a brass lantern covered with silver paint. I mean, you're in the Olympics, what medal do you want? Right? If you ain't first, you're last. Okay, let's get some stripper on here and see what we got. Man, there's going to be some beautiful metal. Look at that. Look at the shine on that tin, on that reflector. So it's starting to work. It's starting to bubble. I mean, this is going to be great. But I can't go, I can't go crazy on this like I would on the big grinder. I got to find new ways to get all this stuff off without scratching this beautiful metal that's underneath here. I mean, we'll assess when we look at it, but I am not going to use that scrubby, which I normally use to get paint off. I don't know what I'm going to use. Probably the Scotch-Brite pad right there. Looking amazing. Look at all that beautiful brass hidden underneath that paint. Unbelievable. So, it's all brass with a very nice shiny tin coating on the back of the reflector. Inside the reflector has apparently been worn down to the brass. I'm assuming that was shiny tin at some point. And probably after many years of polishing, well, maybe that's what happened. But it's hard for me to tell what's tin and what's remaining of the silver paint. We'll get to the bottom of that. No pun intended. All right. So, well, we got a few minutes waiting for that second coat of paint stripper to get off the remnants of that silver paint. I'm just going to take a look at some of these other parts here, see what we're dealing with. I got to watch out for cracks because of the brittleness of the brass. Still not exactly sure what it is I want to do with this brass. I want to keep, well, thing is, if this was all, unpainted brass and it had an amazing patina on it, I would contemplate keeping that patina on there. But what's going to happen once I remove all the paint? Will there be any patina there? Arguing with myself whether I want to polish the living heck out of the whole thing, as it would certainly be beautiful, especially after I saw what the tin on the back of that reflector looks like. But this could be a very pretty lantern. And it's CT ham, so this is staying with me. Boy, that's seen some work, hasn't it? But we're definitely going to polish this baby up. What I need is one of those parts cleaner bins like the mechanic shops have, because this is all covered in like layers and layers of oil or whatever kind of fuel they were using in here, whether it's kerosene or oil or paraffin, whatever it is. It's just looks like an old garage, an old mechanic shop. Now, what I'm going to try here is one of these kind of nylon bits, kind of a Scotch-Brite kind of deal. This gray one is the equivalent of an 800 grit sandpaper, so it's very fine, super fine. And I'm going to see what this does here, clean this baby up. Doing a little bit, but I think we need a little more abrasiveness. So this, the black, is equivalent to a 400 grit sandpaper. Let's try that out. Okay, these are good for now. I'm gonna go get the belly of the beast, and we'll start. Boy, yeah, my nose starts to run after I've been breathing that. You can hear my voice is a little hoarse. Yeah, my voice is a little hoarse, and my nose is running because of breathing that paint stripper. So, I obviously have some type of allergy to it. Either that or it's just a little bit of chemicals reacting with my poor human body. Okay. Well, here we are. Look at that. That baby's all brass. Every bit of it. That's brass with a tin coating on it. No tin left in here. Again, I had to avoid this chimney by all costs. That little wire still intact. But what to do? I mean, I'm not going to leave it like this. I mean, God. Getting off all this paint. By the way, I see some welds that need fixing. There's a good gap there. I should be able to fix that up without making too much of a mess of this. But I think what I'm going to do is take that 800 grit wheel. I hope I have enough. Let's see what's next here. Maybe I'll work on this a little bit. Why not? I just want to see what it looks like. I tell you, this is going to ruin all other lanterns to me, seeing all these parts in brass. So, let's see with some superfine steel wool I'm going to do here. I'm going to want to fix these solders pretty soon. On the bottom of these air tubes, got cracks all the way around. What's holding it in place is the reflector. Looking pretty stellar. And by the way, I left the crown on purely because the chimney being brass and the chimney cracking like crazy all around, I wasn't going to take a chance on the crown tabs breaking off, and I would probably bet money that they would, either trying to bend them out straight to get them out or to bend them back. So that's why I left the crown this time. I'm going to have to do some work underneath here to get those there we go. Okay. There's still a bunch of paint to get off. I definitely don't want to leave it on there. I am liking the brushed look on the brass. Maybe we'll go for a bit of a brushed look other than polished with the brass. Little crack right along the rim here. Brass. This thing just keeps getting prettier and prettier. Oh, I just found the patent numbers. Look at that. Look at where they put them. How cool is that? Let's check it out. See that? What a weird spot. Okay, I'll check those out once I clean it up a little more. Patented February 28th of 1888. October of, looks like 98. October 3rd of 03. Patent April 9th. Wait, patent applied. Patent applied for. So last entry is 03. Patent applied for. I don't know if it says anything after that. Interesting. Gonna be a lot of time lapse in this video. I was thinking a while back when I was working on lanterns, doing things just like this, and my career as a chef started in the early 80s when I was a high school kid, washing dishes. And if you're a hard-working chef, you pretty much stay washing dishes through your whole career. You got to jump on the pit a lot in your career. And I did. Spent a lot of time in the pit over almost 4 decades doing it. So this is nothing but, I'll tell you what's cool about it is that I'm sitting down. I'm scrubbing pots and pans while sitting. It's like it's sticking to some kind of corrosion. Or maybe it's corrosion of the tin. Who knows? All right, well, let me try with this here. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, that's going to save me a lot of elbow grease. Excellent. All right, I'm going to use these in the hard to reach areas first in case I run out of bits. So, I accidentally bumped it and knocked a chunk out. Son of a bitch. Oh, I had been doing really well. And I just went like that and barely touched it and it came off. Son of a bitch. Deep breath, deep breath. Shit. Well, I'm missing a tooth. Maybe I'll be able to turn that enough so that. What a bummer. Could try to weld it, but I would have to do a lot of cleaning of it. And clamping and stuff. I think that would be a bad idea. Tell you the truth. I would just break another piece off. Son of a gun. Oh, that sucks. Looks like some kind of grossness here around the filler spout. Definitely oily buildup. Yeah, there's a lot of shit in there. And I'm always calling these solders welds. I mean, it's a form of welding, right? It's bonding two metals. So, probably as far as I want to go with removing the paint. What's the next? I'll probably go back over everything with the superfine steel wool because of the gentle but still a little harsh surface of this 800 grit wheel. And I want to get at the bottom with something. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to see this again. You've seen enough of this. You know what I'm doing, right? Yes, you do. Okay, so I'm going to do some solder repairing here. I'm going to try a different approach. Since these are cracks, I don't really need to add more solder. I'm going to try to close up the gaps. Ooh, these glasses are super dirty. Okay, hold on a second. Wow. All right, so we are going to try to close up these gaps. It's my melting the solder that's already there. We'll see if we can get enough melt. Too much heat sinking going on with all this brass and stuff sucking the heat out of this tip. Okay, we'll go to the torch then. All right, let's see what we can do here. That's what we want. Okay. What looks like burn marks is just the flux burning off a little. That's all fixed up. To the other side. That's quite a prominent crack there. Let's see if we can make a difference. That's what I wanted. Let's get this little nobule off of there. There we go. Okay, now once I clean this all up, we'll start reassembling. We got a little more soldering to do with the lift mechanism. So let me clean these all up and we'll go on to that. Gotta remember how this goes.
3 days later.
Okay, looks like I need to put that in there first. Okay. Just hope that we get the trajectory on this part correct. But what I want to do first, get a little flux in behind it. Yeah, right back in there. Hopefully it'll creep right in those cracks. Certainly looks like that's where it's supposed to go. Let's go with that then. And this didn't have much. This did not have much solder. Just want to hold that in place. And I'm not going to put this other end in until we got this end in. All right. Beautiful. That's it. Right there. Yeah. Okay. Can do. Move that ever so slightly. Boy, this thing's amazing. It's amazing how brassy it is. Better. Okay, what is next, folks? I'm just cleaning off this melted flux with the acetone, and then I'll wipe it all down. Yeah, we don't have to worry about flash rust, do we? With brass. We certainly do not. Hey. I am out of 3/4. Beautiful. I may want to address the inside of this tank at some point. There's something going on in there, whatever kind of fuel they used. Boy, this is the brassiest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Pretty darn amazing, I'll tell you what. I had no idea. Okay, so we got the bale. Bale's cleaned up. The only part that's not brass. Bale test. Okay. That's, oh yeah. So now that that pin has come out, I could turn this a little bit so we don't have serious curb appeal issue with that all coming apart up in there. That's too bad, man. Oh, so much of this is complete. Have that happen. Okay. Gotta be very gentle here. Okay. Oh, right. We are done. Done enough. Let's put it that way. What do you say? Let's take a look here. Right. Look at that. Can you imagine my amazement when I came to look at this and saw a little corner right there where paint was peeled off? I'm like, that's brass under there. I mean, I knew this was going to be brass, and I knew this was going to be brass. I had no idea the whole darn thing was going to be brass. Hello there. I can see myself. So, there's still little specks of the paint around, but not many. Like in areas that I just did not want to touch, like up in there. That's too bad about that pin coming out. Here it is right here. It was a little soldered on both ends, and obviously there's just no way I'm not going to get back into its place and do anything with it. But I know what it was there for. So, this is Gem Cold Blast by C.T. Ham, Rochester. What a beauty. It's going to be so beautiful on my shelf. And this is staying with me. So, you know, anybody says, well, dude, why didn't you just like leave it painted and do this or that? And I'll hear that. I'll hear it. But this is mine. I'm doing it with my lantern, what I want to do with it. And this is what I wanted to do. And, you know, at some point, maybe I'll decide I want to put a super high polish on the whole thing. Maybe at some point and say I somehow find this part of a nice fresh one that's uncracked, then it would make it a complete thing that I can just polish the living heck out of. Yeah, so here we are, folks. Boy, oh boy, what a process. This was great. What a delight this was. So, folks, as I say at the end of the last video, and I will always say, don't you go changing. Get wild.